here's our situation. This is the first hole at the Silverleaf Club in Scottsdale, Arizona, where I'm the director of instruction, and my approach shot coming up the hill is now plugged in the top of the bunker face. I've got to now hit this shot out of a plug lie from this crazy stance onto the green and let it roll down the hill to the pin. One of the things you always want to make sure you do is remove any obstacles. You never know how the ball's going to come out, and you definitely don't want it to hit the rake and then have it roll into the bunker. So I'm going to make sure I move the rake, set it up here on this side. The ball itself has kind of plugged in this direction, so there is a mounding right here that's on the back of the ball, which is typical, right? I mean, you're not going to get a perfect lie. This is a plug lie. What's really important is that you definitely approach this shot from the right side of the ball. The last thing you want to do is come in from the bunker up and walk up the face this way, because if you don't actually get this out, if you hit the shot and it kind of flub it out and it rolls down into the bunker, well, you don't want your ball to roll into one of your footprints. So make sure that you don't disturb any of that sand, because there's a chance it could roll in there, make the situation worse. So what's important here really is to sum up what is positive and negative. Obviously the lie is negative, the stance is going to be negative, it's going to require me to be really athletic and creative. The positive is that I just have to jump it over this rough, land it on the green, and then once it lands on the green itself is rolling down to the pin. So because it's not going to have any spin, and the fact that we have a lot of green to work with, that's actually a positive in this situation. So what I'm going to do is just kind of get into the shot, and I don't want to disturb too much sand and take too much time, but I'm going to get in here, and what I'm going to do is make sure that the heel of the club really engages in this shot. So I want to make sure that as I kind of chop down in a sharp fashion right here, I'm going to make sure that I pop it right in on the back, stick the club in the sand, and then from here what it'll do is jump up and it'll roll out. So I have to decide, what am I going to do? Am I going to actually take a stance in the stand, or am I going to stand outside? One of the things that might happen if I take a stance in the sand is I might actually create a little avalanche, and it might push sand down onto my ball. And to be honest, I'm not sure if that's a penalty or not, but it could be, right? Because you could be disturbing the ball. There may be enough avalanche that the ball rolls away, and that definitely would be a penalty. So what I'm going to just show you is maybe how to take your stance in the sand. By the rules, you're allowed to fairly take your stance, but you can't build a stance. So I can't come in here and like use my leg and sweep out a ledge and then go over here with my foot and kind of pack it in. I can't create a stance, but I can fairly take my stance. So I'm going to drop one foot in there just because I'm demonstrating it. This would be an option right down in here, but there's a chance when I hit this I might actually tip and fall into the bunker. So because I have more green on the left to work with, I think it's okay if I come into the sand and drop that right foot down. So what I'm going to do is kind of make sure that I'm dropping it down straight here using my heel, and then right about here is where it's going to stop. I can situate my foot in such a way that I can now get in to hit this shot a little bit better. Alright, so here's the shot. Now I have to kind of grip down. The problem is now when I try to get that handle down in here, look what's going to happen. Now that handle is probably going to run into my leg and stop. So now I got to figure out, what do I do? Do I put this foot back out of the way? Do I maybe kneel down? If I kneel down, I've solved that leg problem. I can go ahead and kind of have a little bit better follow through. But now I'm not using my legs. I don't actually have any strength there. It's all arms. But for this situation, I think I can get enough speed on it with my arms attack it in. I'm actually pretty comfortable here. I'm not straining my muscles, so I don't have to get up and reset the stance. If you were crouching for a long time trying to figure it out, it's better to back out of the shot and start over, because your muscles are fatigued and you might actually mess it up just because of that. So while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and hit the shot. I'm aiming over here to the left. I'm going to pick the club up, kind of thump it down right here into the back of the sand. Bonk. Land it up on the green, and it should roll out and go down the hill. So we'll give it a rip, see how it goes. There we go. Landed on the green. It's rolling down the hill. I would say that's a pretty good shot from this situation. And hopefully I didn't get my pants too dirty. As you can see, I'm, I don't know, maybe a flag stick distance from the pin. I think that's a pretty good shot. And what's even better is I don't have a whole lot of mess to clean up, because I didn't go traipsing all through the bunker. So that was a pretty good execution, and I wish you the best of luck in this situation if you're ever faced with this type of shot. Pulls it in, lifts the club, chops across it, maybe hangs back,